I am so excited. I'm starting 5 minutes early just to give you guys some wiggle room to join in. So come on in, come on in. We're going to get started promptly at 8 p.m. Listen, y'all, we have 2 more minutes until we get started. One thing you guys are going to learn about me is I am super respectful of everybody's time. So when I say we're starting at 8, we're starting at 8 and we are ending on time. We're ending at 9 o'clock. So whatever you need to do, go ahead and do it. But this time is for me and you. This is you time. Okay. This is you season. So get your paper, get your pen, get your good vibes, get your water, because for 1 hour, we're about to get our entire lives. So before we get started, one thing you guys got to know is that I am a church girl at heart. Okay. And I can't see you. So this is killing me softly. Like, I wish I could see you right now. So I'm going to need you guys to use this chat so that I can know that you're in the building. So go ahead, use the chat. Let me know where you're from, city, states. I'm really excited. I'm really excited you're here. One more minute. I was going to play some music, but I didn't want to break any YouTube rules. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to get kicked out. Oh, Jennifer's in the building. Hey, boo. Rosie's here. I love it. Missy's one of my bestest friends. Daisy, Melina, y'all just better be on time. Y'all just better be on time. I love it. Tamisha, hey, boo. Jessica, I love it. All right, so it is 8 o'clock. And one thing you guys are going to learn about your girl, I start on time because we're finishing on time. So welcome to what I hope is the next 4 weeks that are going to change your life. Okay. Special shout out to Snipes. Listen, one thing you got to know is that the Lord be coming through. Snipes has fully sponsored this 4-week seminar so that you don't got to pay $1. So that you don't got to pay $1. So shout out to Snipes. We're actually going to be doing tons of giveaways. So if you just got this link from Facebook or Instagram, make sure that you still subscribed to that email listserv, because that's how we're going to be doing these giveaways. You don't know. Don't block your blessing by not signing up, okay? But welcome to this transformative time that we have together. This is going to be a personal development course. I've ordained myself as a professor because you know what I realized? I spent 10 years building a business. So I'm calling myself a professor. You can say what you want, but I want to share with you guys my story. I know I have so many new people on here that don't really know me. My name is Elaine Gonzalez Johnson, and I am so blessed to be here with you guys tonight. I am a serial entrepreneur. What does that mean? That means your girl got a whole lot of businesses, but that wasn't always my truth. I actually started in college. I went to college, Bloomsburg University, and then I graduated out. I got married, got pregnant, gained a whole lot of weight, okay? Gained 52 pounds with the pregnancy of my daughter. This is important because this is a part of my story. And we're all here to come together so that you know what things start like, and then you can see how God be showing up, and we got all these amazing opportunities. So I gained 52 pounds. I was super, super stressed, depressed, suffered from severe postpartum depression. Didn't know what to do, because if you're like me, I'm Puerto Rican from North Philadelphia. No one was telling your girl tips and tools to get snatched. This was back in 2010. Okay. So there wasn't a lot of multi-level marketings out here trying to help your girl. I was just super, super depressed. And so I started walking became jogging, jogging became running. And so your girl was out here. Your girl was out here. She was walking, she was jogging, she was running. And at the time, I was working for the school district of Philadelphia. So a colleague of mine said, yo, if you like running, you should sign up for the Broad Street Run. So here's the thing you need to know. If you're new in these streets, the Broad Street Run is 10 miles. Okay, at this point, I maybe ran a mile. And so here's the thing about your girl. Your girl got vision. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mindset to something. Come on, keyword. I'm going to put my mindset to something, and I'm going to make that happen. So I decided to register for this 10-mile run. I started training. I use the ministry of Google. Okay, shout out to Google. How do you train for a 10-mile run? And so I got this training plan, and it was rough. It was rough in all caps and underlined. I lost toenails. I mean, your girl was eating tons of Pizza Hut. Shout out to Pizza Hut. I still love you. And it was a beautiful experience. I learned so much from it. But when I got to the race line, right, when I got to the start line, there were not many people who looked like me. Okay, so we need to go back. So now we're in 2012. I'm at this race with thousands and thousands of runners, but I felt so alone. And then there was this group called Black Girls Run. They were bomb, y'all. Like, they had these pink boas, they had these tutus, they were a team. And then there were Students Run Philly Style, which is another running group, and they were a team and they had it going on. And then there was me. Ain't nobody was high-fiving me. Nobody was giving me the yes, girl, yes. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to do something about it. And so the first thing I want you guys to write down, okay? Tonight is all about mindset. The first thing I want you to write down is, if you see a deficit, and you have the desire to do something about it, that is your assignment. If you see a deficit and you have a feeling like, yo, I want to do something about that, that is your assignment. There are so many women that I meet that consistently tell me, Elaine, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I was created for. You need to pay attention. Pay attention to what life is telling you. Pay attention to what you feel inside. In 2012, when I ran my first race, I felt the need to do something about it, so I did it. And that's why we're here today, because I took that idea, in 2012 and decided to execute. And 10 years later, it's 2022. 10 years later, I can sit before you and tell you and teach you and cheer you on whatever idea that you have. And that was my beginning. So in June 2012, I literally text, email my little listserv of women. And I said, hey, meet me for 2.5 miles. Had no idea what I was doing. So if you're looking at this right now, if you're on the other side of this camera and you feel like you don't know what you're doing, babe, I pinky promise. None of us know what we're doing, okay? Everything is figure outable. We're all just figuring it out. Some of us just make it look better than others. But I'm not sitting here before you because I arrived. I'm sitting here before you because I have tips, tools, and strategies that help me get to the end result quicker. And we're here to get them same tip, tools, and strategies so that you can get to purpose quicker, so that you can start executing quicker. So whatever it is that's in your mind that's telling you you can't, I'm here to tell you that you can, because you really, really can, right? And so when I sent out that text message, hey, can you meet me for 2.5 miles? Yo, 6 people showed up. 6 women showed up. And I had like a little plan. I had a little notebook, like, okay, we're going to warm up. We're going to do 25 jumping jacks. Again, no one had ever taught me how to be a founder of a fitness group. I didn't have no certifications. I don't have an MBA till this day. I don't have an MBA. And I just decided I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do what feels good. I'm going to teach people what I did, how I learned to run 10 miles, but we're going to start off with 2. And you want to know what's the beautiful thing is that in 2012, Facebook was popping. I know Facebook not popping right now. You guys are like, Facebook is for old people and TikTok is there. In 2012, Facebook was doing it. Okay. Facebook was that thing. And so we took a selfie. And mind you, our cameras wasn't even as popping as they are now. We took a little selfie. We posted that selfie, and guess what? That picture spread like wildfire. It spread like wildfire. I started to get women asking, inquiring, when are y'all meeting next? When are y'all meeting next? Can I start a chapter in New Jersey? Can I start a chapter in New York? And here's the thing. Still didn't know what I was doing. But what did I tell you? Everything is figure outable. You're not going to know all the answers, but I pinky promise somebody does. Somebody does. So if you're in the middle of your career, if you're trying to write a book, if you want to apply to a school, if you want to take your idea and execute, and you're waiting until you have it all together and you're waiting until you have all the answers, you're going to continue to wait. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you, because let me tell you to your face, someone is depending on your gift. Someone is depending on your idea. Somebody is depending on you to start. And the more you let fear dictate when you move and when you execute, the more people who are depending on your gift to get to their next level, it's not about you. It's not about you. You thought it was. You thought, okay, well, I want to start a clothing line, but I'm not going to do it because I don't have all my designs. I'm not going to do it because I don't know. I'm not going to do it. Mind you, you don't know that your clothing line is going to make another person feel great about themselves. You're sitting on a book idea. Oh, I'm not going to write a book because I'm not really good with words. Mind you, your book is going to be the book that's going to change somebody's life. It's not a game. It's not a game. We talk about things like it's so fun. It's Women's History Month. I know that I'm on assignment. I know it. I know that I was created for such a time as this. So whether it's one person or 100, I'm showing up in the full essence of my excellence because you deserve that. Because on today, on Thursday, when you could have been Netflix and chilling, when you could have been at the gym, when you could have been at the date, you're here with me. I don't take that lightly. So number 1, I want to tell you that I honor you. But number 2, I want to tell you, do it scared. Do it anyways. And so here we are. Latinas in Motion is on and popping, right? Latinas in Motion was my first business that I created. We're celebrating 10 years in June, right? So this was June 2012. By September, October, we already had 3 chapters. Started in Philly. By September, October, we were already rocking in New Jersey, rocking in New York. Figured it out, right? And so here I am, minding my business, and I get a call from the Philadelphia 76ers. I know. I'm what, 5 months into this business, 5 months into what people call a hobby. And they wanted to honor me with a Hometown Hero Award, y'all. Hometown Hero. So in December of 2012, I was only in business working on this hobby for 6 months. I received an award. Like at halftime, somebody walked me to the middle of the court. I received this little plaque. Like that experience changed my life. And it wasn't about the accolade. It was that somebody else realized the impact I was having. Does that make sense? So I was doing something that I thought like, oh, I'm just doing this for me. I just want other women to feel good. I just want other Latinas to run. I just want other Latinas to make health and wellness a priority. Someone else saw what I was doing and said, you know what, you're making an impact. Why was that important? That was important because I realized, yo, this is not just something that I'm doing. Oftentimes as women, I feel like we shortchange ourselves, right? Like think about it on the small in the small context. So like if I see Missy and I'm like, Missy, you look so good. Missy might feel inclined to be like, I mean, I ate chips all week, so thanks. Right? Or if I told Johanna, girl, I love your hair. I didn't even wash my hair today. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Like, we have to learn to number one, say thank you. And number two, to walk in the essence of our excellence. And that starts with the small things, not with the big things. That starts with what you're doing every day. You are powerful. You are amazing. You do have purpose. But until you start telling yourself that every day and making every day count, we're just existing. And so when I won this award, I'm like, yo, it's not about me. Somebody else is seeing the impact that I'm doing. I need to go hard because I was treating this like a hobby. I was so afraid of my own greatness that I was so afraid to say that I was an entrepreneur because I was working full time. Spoiler alert, you can be both. You can work and you can also have a business. Don't let social media, society tell you any different. You can have a career and also have a business, boo. Okay. And so I was so afraid to say that I was a business owner because I didn't feel smart enough, because I didn't have all the answers, because I didn't figure it out yet, because I didn't have the physique of what a runner should look like. So I was afraid to tell people. When I got this award, changed my life because I decided I do have a business. What I'm doing does matter. And ever since I changed my mindset, I changed my life. And so 10 years after that, sitting here with you, sharing my story, mindset is a muscle. So when I felt like that December of 2012, I didn't stay at a high from then till now. It's legitimate work. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Mindset is work. I have to continually pour into myself. I have to read books. I have to watch seminars. I have to sometimes, like, I know that you're here watching me, but most of the time I'm watching someone else. How can I get better? How can I get smarter? How can I learn from somebody else's mistakes? Your mindset is a muscle. Your mindset is a muscle. You got to work that thing out, babe. You got to work it out. If you think that yourself today, right now, this second, is going to take you to the next level that you want to be at, and you're not going to change anything, and you're not going to read no books, and you're not going to change up from the people you hanging with, and you're not going to attend seminars, I would be real interested to see that happen. Because each level that you reach, another level of greatness, another accolade, another opportunity requires a different version of who you are. It does. And let's not even talk about business. I've been married. I'm about to celebrate 14 years of marriage. I just better be in love in these streets. But every level of my year in marriage required a different version of Elaine. Sometimes we think we make it so hard, like, oh, business and business. Yo, here's the thing. As a mom, every year my children get older. I thought like when they were babies, I don't know why I thought this, but I thought like when they could learn how to walk, it's going to be so much easier. Why did I think that? I got to clench my invisible pearls. When they learn how to talk, it's going to be so much better. Honey, they learn how to talk. That's a different ministry. That is a different ministry, right? And so your business, your ideas, your purpose is the same way. As you grow, your growth is going to require a different version of who you are. And that's why we're here today. That is why we're here today. So I got this award, and with accolades comes opportunities. Write that down. With accolades comes opportunities. And what started to happen? Corporations and colleges started to invite me to speak, right? I had no idea what I was doing. This version of Elaine, all it is, all it is, that was not 2012 Elaine. That was not 2013 Elaine. When I was invited to speak, I did it because what did we just say? We're going to do it scared, right? I'm going to do it scared. Whatever your opportunities are, you're going to do it scared. And so I decided to go and speak, had no idea I could get paid for it. That's a word for somebody on today. If somebody invites you to speak and you're doing a keynote or you're doing a presentation, make sure you ask them, what is your budget? That's a free gem I'm giving you right now. Free gem. Had no idea speakers get paid. Some speakers get paid well. Okay. So I do the speaking engagement and it was trash. So I decided that I was going to have a PowerPoint. And in this PowerPoint, I talked about how I started Latinas in Motion and what consultant I used and blah, 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 blah. And no one cared. You want to know why no one cared? Because I wasn't connecting my truth to my audience. I showed up looking like a version of Elaine I thought looked successful. That's a word for somebody. That is a word for somebody. Let me see it on the chat. Did you feel that? Did you feel that in your spirit? I represented a version of Elaine to my audience that I thought looked successful. Wasn't how I felt. I wasn't even talking to them how I'm talking to you. I was like, well, I started Latinas in Motion. I didn't even use my accent. I didn't give them Philly Johnny Lane, right? Because I felt like, oh, well, I'm going to this university and I have to look like this and dress like this. I even wore pearls. Now, I have nothing against pearls, but normally, y'all, you're going to see me with like gold personalized jewelry. Like I wore pearls, oh my gosh. Anyways, I did the presentation and they paid me. And then you want to know what happened? They told their friends. So now other colleges would hit me up like, oh, I want you to come. To the point where I was literally, remind you, I'm working full time. So I'm working full time for the School District of Philadelphia. I'm running Latinas in Motion, legitimately running with these women 2-3 times a week. I have my daughter, Eva, right? My husband, this was 2013, and I'm speaking. It got to the point where I was taking so much PTO to speak at these universities, like vacation days. Let me take this vacation day to go to this university and speak, because the more you do something, you get better at it. Like I meet so many women that are so afraid to share their story because they don't like the sound of their own voice. That statement right there gets me emotional. Like, your voice is your power. Your voice is God's gift to you. So every time you speak, God smiles. Every time you have something to say, it changes the trajectory of somebody in the room. And when you decide that you don't want to share your story, and when you decide that you don't like how you sound, and when you decide to stay quiet, even though you know you're supposed to say something, my expectation is that after today, you say something. You say something. Your voice is your power. Yo, no lie. One of the reasons I was so afraid to get the coronavirus is because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my money maker. I can't catch that virus and lose my voice and not speak. This is my money maker. Listen, you better use your voice. But anyway, so I started to go, and then I started to get more comfortable going as myself. So I started to dress like me, and I started to talk like me. And the more I got comfortable sharing my story, guess what happened? More people started booking your girl. And I loved that for me. I loved that for me because now I didn't feel the need to code switch. Now I didn't feel like I have to go to these corporations as myself. I'm going to go in the full essence of who God told me to go as. And I'm not for everybody. So some people in the audience may be like, she's too much. That's fine. I'm not for you. I'm speaking in this room to whoever was assigned to listen to this message. Get comfortable being too much for people. Get comfortable being too much for people. Get comfortable being too much for people because everybody's not for you. Right? Every person is not your person. Every dollar is not your dollar. So the way I'm speaking now in this partnership with Snipes, I may not have the same luxury to speak somewhere else. And I have no issue now being in my career saying, I'm good off that. If I can't go as myself, I'm not going. I'm good off that. I'm good off that. You want to know why? Because I believe that my purpose is what's going to give me prosperity. And for me to bend, for me to fold, for me not to step into the fullness of who I am, not going to be fake. So I would rather say no to an opportunity than change who I am for it, right? So when I was going and like the more I went as myself and was comfortable, guess what people started to feel? People started to feel my authenticity. And the one thing I'm going to tell you about leadership and vision and purpose is that you going as yourself, you will always win. You will always win going as you. And maybe you have to define what winning is for yourself. That's going to be on week 2. But today, I'm going to tell you to your face, going as you will always be successful. Because you trying to be somebody else is doing a disservice to your purpose. Trying to be somebody else is doing a disservice to what you were created for. And it gets really tricky. That's why personally, I have to take time away from social media because sometimes I could see what's working for a friend and I may try to imitate that friend because I think like, oh, well, if it worked for Jomira, then it's going to work for me that way. No, it worked for Jomira that way because that's the plan God had for Jomira. And so here I am not minding my business, but I'm minding Jomira's business. Well, you know what? If Jomira wore that sports bra, I'm going to wear that sports bra. If Jomira's drinking that tea, I'm going to drink that tea. And the whole time, the creator is like, homegirl, I gave you a purpose. I gave you vision. And you so caught up looking at your friends. That's the word on somebody. You're so caught up looking at your friends that you're not focused in what I gave you. So yes, you could have amazing, you can have amazing family members. You could have some sucky family members. You could have amazing friends. You could have some sucky friends. Make sure that your vision is always on what you're supposed to be doing, right? Because sometimes we make decisions based off of, well, I don't want to end up like Maria, so let me not do that. Honey, if you're supposed to do it, it doesn't mean you're going to end up the same place as Maria, right? Oh, well, I saw, Tamika win this way, so let me do it like Tamika. Meanwhile, Tamika is making $1 million. You haven't made one. Why? Because you wasn't supposed to do it that way. Am I stepping on your neck? Are you clenching your pearls? I hope you are. Okay, it's 8:24. It's 8:24. I want to make sure there's some times for like Q&A, so I got to keep it moving. So when I was invited to speak, I always know where I left off. You could tell I've been doing this for a while. People started to ask me, your energy. Remember I was talking about being authentic, authenticity? People would always say, how can I have some of your energy? Y'all, if I took all of this energy and put it in a bottle and sold it for $1, I'll probably be a millionaire, okay? I would be on a yacht in Greece on today because that is the question I get all the time. Oh my gosh, your energy. And so when I would go and speak, I would tell them why I had this great energy or how I had this great energy, right? So I was giving away my formula, right? Well, I wake up every morning and I say what I'm grateful for. I say affirmations. I was giving them my formula and I did not have a product. Y'all want to know why I didn't have a product? I didn't have a product because I didn't think that I could create one. I didn't have a product because I didn't think I had the money to hire somebody to be a designer. I didn't think I had the money to hire a distributor, all these things. When I didn't even do the homework. And so in 2017, April 2017, for my birthday, I decided to release the Plan, Pray, Slay planner. Okay. It looks amazing today. Today, this is like Beyonce level excellence. But 2017, it was like, shout out to everybody who bought the first version. I know that my girls in here, they bought the first version, but the first version of the Plan, Pray, Slay planner, it did its job. But it was a little bit raggedy, right? It was a little bit raggedy. We're gonna whisper that. We're not gonna affirm that. We're just gonna say it needed a lot of love. But you wanna know what? You wanna know what I loved about it? Is that I did it scared. I did it not knowing. I did it and I made a huge mistake. Like when I created that planner, I hired somebody to create the planner and it was missing a week. So like there are some, months that have 4 weeks, but some months have 5 weeks and I was missing some weeks, y'all. Story for another day. But I want to tell you that I did it scared. I released this planner. So then when I would go speak, I would bring my planner. So when somebody would say, Elaine, tell me about your energy, guess what I did? I would say, oh, well, it's funny you asked. I use my Plan, Pray, Slay planner every morning. Then they would say, well, how can I get a planner? And then I would say, oh, go to my website, mogulmami.com, $35, live your best life. And so now on top of being paid for an engagement, I was now making money with the formula I created. Your ideas are wings. They really are. They really are. And right now, somebody's watching this sitting on an idea. You might be praying like, God, whoever you pray to, I pray to the Lord, but whoever you pray to, God, I really need more money. And God looking at you like, baby girl, I gave you the book idea. Or baby girl, I told you what fashion line to release. Or baby girl, I told you to open up that daycare. Whatever the idea was, stop sitting on your ideas and start executing. And it starts with your mindset, y'all. When you start telling yourself that you can, you can. You can. Listen, sometimes I feel like I can't. And you know what I do? I get around people who think that I can and speak life right back into me. When I feel like I cannot, I know who to call. I know who to go to. I know who to pray to. Okay. I know what my soul needs to get back to me. Do you know what your soul needs to get back to you? If you don't, I highly recommend that you write something down. Note to self, figure out ways to get back to me. Like you need a gauge, babe. And you want to know why we start with mindset? We start with mindset because if your mind is not right, how you gonna drive the car, boo? The car of your career, the car of your purpose, the car of your business, the car of your vision. If you're not right here, this is the baseline. This is the foundation. Once we have this good, all we're doing is layering tools, strategies for your toolbox. But here's what I know. We got to change this, right? I thought I couldn't. And then what happened? I thought I couldn't create a planner. And then what happened? I created the planner. And so at this point, right, I'm still working full time, y'all. Your girl was still working. So I'm working for the school district of Philadelphia. I have Latinas in Motion. Now, baby girl got 2 kids. Okay. So I have my daughter, Eva, my son, Ian, crazy in love like Beyonce. This ain't no joke. If you guys follow me on social media, if you see me in the street with this fawn, when I say fawn, I mean fawn in all caps, underline, period, with this fawn black man, you're going to be like, oh, that's my girl's boo. Okay. So I have this amazing marriage. Then I have this planner that I'm selling and I'm going out speaking. Lots of things going on. So then you know what happens, right? On social media, all of the, what are we going to call them? Trolls, gremlins. I don't know what you want to call them. Whatever you want to call them. They start saying like, she's doing too much. She's doing too much. My favorite DM. You're not even happy in real life. People swear they know you. They don't know you. They surely don't know me, right? But that's when all of this talk. So with levels of success, with levels of influence, also comes the opinions of a lot of people, right? You got to be ready for that. That's why it's important that your mind is right. Because when you know who you are, when you know what you stand for, you're going to stand there in the essence of your excellence and wish somebody would. Because here's the thing. People be like, oh my gosh, you are so nice. You are so friendly. You have all the positive vibes. You also need to know that respectfully, I'm from North Philadelphia. I am Boricua, Puerto Rican through and through. I wish somebody would. Now, sometimes these comments do make me cry, little baby rivers. So if you've been in situations where people have judged you, where people have spread rumors about you, where people send you DMs or people create fake pages to tell you who you are and what you're not, and you gained weight and you're ugly and you're not, blah, 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 blah. What you need to know is when you know who you are and when you know whose you are, can't nobody tell you nothing because you know who you are. But that takes a lot of self-practice. That takes a lot of mindset muscle. That takes a lot of work. And the work doesn't stop. There are some days where people tell me things and I'm like, okay. But then there's other times people tell me things and I will call my husband at work like, babe, these people be trying me. It's okay. Like this space that we're creating right now, this space we're creating together, it's a safe space for us to share. It's a safe space for you to know that you're not alone. So if you've been in these types of situations, I see you. I honor you and you are not alone. That's why we have to get the baseline together. That's why we have to do the work to make sure that we know who we are. So then after I'm over here like telling y'all all these things like coming at y'all next. But let me tell you that the whole time I'm doing all these things, I was still working at a job that I know for sure God had told me to leave because I was scared. I've been working since I was 14. So the thought of me not receiving a check every 2 weeks scared me. It scared me. And then I could do both. Like it wasn't like I had a job where I don't know if I'm blasting myself. Can this be between us? Can this be like our secret? Can you like write in the chat? I pinky promise I'm not gonna tell nobody. But I was at this job and I was writing emails for Latinas in Motion. I was negotiating contracts, right? So like I always say that my job was like my first investor because I was working while I was building my businesses, but I was so not aligned with where I was supposed to be going and what I was supposed to be doing. Because here's the thing, it's great to say, I wear so many hats. I do this and I do that and I do that and I do that. But another thing, another truth we got to stand on today is that when my energy is not towards something I should be working on, that means my energy is not there to work on it and it can't grow, right? So if you're planting a flower, if you're planting a rose and you plant the seed and then you never water it, honey, how's it going to grow? And then you never give it some sunlight, it's just sitting in a pot in the dark. How is it going to grow? And so in my mind, I was so afraid to resign from my job because I was so connected to this paycheck that I wasn't focused on purpose, right? And so this conversation is not about quit your job. I will never tell you to quit your job, okay? What I will tell you is that you need to pursue purpose, whatever that looks like for your life. Do not let social media, society, and TV, pop culture dictate the timing of your life. Do not feel like you haven't made it because you don't have the car, because you don't have the purse, because you don't have the shoes. Let me tell you something. Deep down inside, what you need to be worried about is, am I walking in purpose? Am I making a difference? Does my husband know who I am or partner? Do my children know my name? To me, that's how I define success. So oftentimes, women will give me unsolicited advice. You would be more successful if you did this. You would be more successful if you did that. If you networked more. If you wasn't so busy trying to boo love with your boo. Mind you, your girl happy in her marriage. And some people are not. I had to whisper that. We're not going to offend anybody. We're just here trying to speak the truth. And so when people tell me you would be more successful if, I hit them back with, who said I wasn't successful? You like that? You could keep that one. Put that one in your purse. When people say you would be fill in the blank, who said I wasn't? Who said I wasn't? In my mind, I have defined success for myself. I highly suggest that you do the same. Legit, wrote it down. Success for me is taking my children to school. Success for me is dating my husband once a week. Because the one thing about you, girl, and I learned this from Eric Thomas. He's like one of the best speakers in the world. I'm trying to be a triple threat. You want to know what that means? That means, yes, I want to be successful in my career, but I also want to be top notch in my marriage. Okay. I don't look at nobody and say, oh, hashtag marriage goals. Cause I don't know what their marriage is like. What I know about Elaine and Daryl, I know that we're good, right? Because I make sure that that is a priority. I don't want to be on this call and be like, oh my gosh, y'all, I make so much money and my personal life sucks. That's not success for me. I love to brunch. I love champagne, but don't tell nobody that. Don't tell nobody that. I love working out. I love being with my husband. I love being with my kids. And some people would make me feel bad for that. Like, you would be more successful if you networked more, if you worked harder, if you worked hard. I work hard. Listen, if I got any mothers on the chat, being a mother is like having 4 jobs. Okay, so I work hard. So know who you are. Next, resign from my job. August 2017, decided I'm going to leave this place. I'm done. I'm going to prosper on purpose. And I'm going to go ahead and just do me, right? I thought I had a plan because, I'm a planner, plan, pray, slay. And then life was like, no, boo, you got to learn what faith is like. So my last day at my job was August 25th. I had a whole plan for how I'm going to get these contracts, how I'm going to coach women in business. And then all of those plans failed. Like if this was a plan, picture it falling apart. And so I used to question myself all the time. Like, am I made to be a business owner? Was I created to be an entrepreneur? Should I go get a job? I'm not made for this. And I would cry little baby rivers all the time. Like, to the point now that I feel like the crying of my baby rivers have a rhythm. My husband has narrowed it down to once a quarter. Once a quarter, Elaine is going to cry baby river about how she don't know what she's doing. And then he tells me the same thing. You got this. Now he just give me those 3. You got this. You cry if you want to cry, go ahead and cry all your tears. And he will listen to me and he will get me my favorite soul food and we will watch rom-coms. And then the next day, Dr. Johnson is like, now it's time to get back to work. If I call my friends like, yo, this is so hard, I can't do this, they text me back. I honor how you feel. Keep going, right? You need some keep going people in your life. You need some keep going people in your life. You need a village that when they see you crying a baby river, okay, we're going to cry. We're going to kumbaya. We're going to listen to Beyonce's Lemonade album. Then after that, we're going to get back to work. We cannot talk about the success. We cannot talk about having a plan. We can't talk about having a mindset because the truth of the matter is I don't always wake up like this. Ooh, I see what I did there. I woke up like this. I don't always wake up like this. Some days are harder than others, but the days that are hard, I already have a plan for how I'm going to beat how I feel. Because here's the thing that you need to know. You ready for this? Your purpose doesn't care about your feelings. Your purpose doesn't care about your feelings. Your purpose means that you, the person I'm looking at right now, you were created, right, with purpose. Like God was like, yo, the universe is not complete until you're here. So for you to think that you're just going to go day by day, not fulfilling your purpose, not walking into your excellence, not stepping into your greatness, you're doing a disservice, not only to yourself, but to your creator, right? Like as a mother, my job is to make sure that my kids are not who I want them to be. My job as a mother is to make sure that I'm helping them become whoever it is that God created them to be. We mess it up. We have an idea of I'm supposed to be like this, right? Whether it be cultural norms, whether it be society telling you. Like when I first got married, I thought I was supposed to cook every day. I thought that I was supposed to wash the clothes by myself and clean the house by myself because that's what I saw my mom do. Culturally, as a Puerto Rican woman, you know, I saw my mom do all these things that if I didn't do those things, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible wife. Then my husband was just like, I never asked you to do that. If you need help, let me know. You want me to wash clothes? I wash clothes. Then I'm like, I do need you to wash the clothes. Like communication and making sure that you know what you were created for, not by society norms, cultural norms, what your mom told you to do, what your friends told you to do, like what were you were created for. That's your job. That's a you issue. That's a you issue that you need to figure out. We're going to be figuring it out these next couple weeks, but we had to let that be known, right? And so with all of this, I have these roller coasters of I can and I can and I can and I can't. At this stage in my life, I realized that I can. I'm very clear on what my purpose is. I didn't know that at first. I think like my purpose was really fuzzy. And sometimes I would have conversations with my husband, like, I don't know what I was created for. But like my husband has this formula. I have to give him the credit because it's his formula. So his formula and what he teaches his students and his staff is that your service to people, right? Plus your passion equals your purpose. What does that mean? Is what do you really love to do? So if you're watching this and you were like, I don't know what the heck my purpose is, what do you love to do? Okay. Then connect that to serving some people. You want to know why? Because I believe success is directly connected to people. I already gave you the example. There are people depending on you to win. Success is connected to people. So your passion plus your service to others equals your purpose. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot. I know that I'm giving y'all like tons and tons and tons of information, but I wanted to make sure that you leave here knowing how much value you have inside of you, knowing that you have purpose, knowing that you are great, you're excellent, you're a queen, not because I said so, but because your creator said so, right? And so I wanted to make sure that when we get into everything business, that this foundation was amazing, that this foundation was strong, that you know what your purpose is, so that you don't start businesses based off of what you see other people doing and how you see other people winning, but you have ideas based off of what you know to be true for you, what you know that there was a deficit that you know for sure you were supposed to fill. That's your purpose. When you know that you're really passionate about something and you want to help people, that's your purpose. When you sit down with your thoughts by yourself and you're like, yo, I know I have to do this thing, that's your purpose. And if you're like, with all of this, if you were like, Elaine, I still don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, honey, sit down, meditate, spend time with your thoughts and talk to your creator. Figure out what it is that you were created for, and life will be so much better. Because even on my worst day, when I feel like I can't, if somebody called me because they needed a good word, my purpose, the essence of who I am is going to step up because it's ingrained in me. There is no chill in me. We can go to the corner of the street, and if I see somebody that looks good, I'm gonna be like, yo, you look good, because that's who I am. So even if I personally don't feel good, I could feel like I'm trash juice. I could feel like I'm not good, I'm not worthy, but in my purpose just oozes out of my pores. It's who I am. That's why people say like, oh my gosh, you're so inspiring, you're so authentic, I love your energy, because it's who I am. Who are you? Who are you? Not your title. Don't say, I'm a mother, I'm a wife. Those are great. That's great for you. I'm an entrepreneur. That's great for you. But who are you? Who are you? For me, I know that I'm compassionate. I know that I'm authentic. I know that I love to laugh. I know that I love to tell good stories. I know that I don't find a lot of comedy shows funny. I know that I love pizza. Like, who are you, babe? I know that I love to work out. Sometimes run, right? Like, figure out who you are. Spend more time with who you are, because when you know who you are, the world can't tell you who you are. And there's a lot of that going on right now. Oh, you got to look like this, you got to look like that, and successes like this and successes like that. Figure out who you are. I read this book that my friend Missy actually told me to read, and it's called The Professional Troublemaker by Lovey Ajayi. Okay, can somebody write that in the chat? Professional Troublemaker by Lovey Ajayi. And in this book, the first chapter, she's literally talking about mindset and purpose. And she is from West Africa, I believe. And if she's not, I'm sorry, but stick with me. So in her culture, they have these things called an oriki. Okay. And if you're like, Elaine, what is an oriki? I'm glad you asked. I have some notes on it. So an oriki is a Yoruba word that combines two words to mean praising your head, your mind. Okay. And so it's funny because in this book, I'm listening to the Audible version, and I don't know if you guys ever saw the show Game of Thrones. Type it in the chat if you have saw the show Game of Thrones. So I actually had no idea what Games of Thrones were. Then my husband started watching it. Then like one of my best friends, Jamira, started watching. Like everybody was talking about the show Game of Thrones, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this show? So I started watching it, and in the show, there's this character. She's a beautiful woman, and she believed that she was a mother of dragons. You got to watch the show. I don't want to mess it up for you, but whenever in this show, this is a made-up show, but anytime someone was in this show and they were of a certain caliber or royalty, people would pronounce them, or their title would be so bomb, right? Like it was just a vibe. Like every time this particular character, her name was Daenerys, every time they introduced her, it gave me the ultimate Beyonce formation, get in line type of vibes. So I'm going to read it to you. So just to give you an idea of what an oriki is. All right. So her name was Daenerys. Daenerys, Stoneborn of House Targaryen, the first of her name, right? Queen of the Andal and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms. Yes, she was a woman, protector of the Seven Kingdoms. The mother of Dragon, the Khaleesi of the Grass Sea. Do y'all see what's going on here? It's like, you just better. Did you feel like that? Like Daenerys, mother of dragons. And so in the book, I got to bring you back because now you're like envisioning this whole show, but I got to bring you back. So in the book, the author Lovey, who I love this book. I highly recommend this book. Go read this book. It's a game changer. She says to write your own oriki. Okay. And so I did mine, and your homework today is to write yours, but I'm going to give you what mine is. Okay. So I did my homework. I know you watching, but your girl did her homework. This is mine. And so when you're thinking about yours, I want you to think about yours. When you're writing your own oriki, why are we writing orikis? I want you to write orikis so that when people try you, when people tell you who you're not, when people are like, you're not this and you're not that, or maybe you feel like you're not good enough and you feel inadequate and you have imposter syndrome, I want you to read your oriki that you did with Elaine, okay, week 1. All right, so this is mine. Elaine Gonzalez of House Johnson. That's right. First of her name. I wish we could do videos because I would love to see y'all's. Lover of Dr. Husband. Mother of 2 dragon slayers, even Ian. I'm just claiming that. Queen of encouragement, champion of vision, leader of Latinas in motion, creator of Plant Pray Slay Planners, expert of the Mogul Mami podcast, and conqueror of public speaking. Can I get some snaps for that? Okay. So if you're watching this and you're like, sis, I love yours. I love this Game of Thrones Daenerys girl. Okay. So this is your assignment. This is how the author tells you to create yours. So you're going to start with your name. Okay. Can you please write down this formula? Guys, there are giveaways. Y'all better do your homework. I'm not playing with y'all. So it's going to start off with your name. Okay. Your name of, and then it's going to be house of your last name. So your name, it could be your first and last name. So I'll do my daughter. So Eva Sarai of House Johnson. We together? We together? Yes. Okay. So your first name, last name of House, fill in the blank. Okay. Next, you have to write first of your name. So yes. So Eva Sarai of House Johnson, first of her name, because she's the only one. If you're a junior, that some women are juniors. If you're a junior, you're second of your name. Okay. If you the third Elaine in the line, then you third of your name. So you figure that out. Talk to your mom, talk to your grandma. I ain't had nothing to do with that. Okay. So Eva Sarai of House Johnson, that's my daughter, by the way, first of her name. Then we're going to go with name of the occupation or whatever, and then of that thing. So like I did champion of vision, creator of Plan Pray Slave Planners, leader of Latinas in Motion. And here's the thing, whatever is going to hype you up, there is no right or wrong answer. You know you. I'm seeing one of my friends right now. Her name is Marilise. She has a son and a set of baby girl twins. To me, she is the conqueror of all mothers. Okay, because I know baby girl be putting in that motherly work. So in my head, she's a conqueror, right? There's another woman on here, Sylvia. I know she's a photographer. So I would put slayer of photography. Like, do not be humble when you're writing your Oriki. Legit. I did this activity when I wrote this book, and I literally want to have somebody like paint it so that I could put it in my office of my new house, and I'm always going to see it, so that when I feel sad, I'm going to be like, first of her name. Y'all listen, y'all give me an inch and I'll take a mile. I'm legit going to have that John paint. It's going to be lit, and then I'm going to show y'all on Instagram and Facebook. But your assignments, it's 8:52. Your assignment is to create your own Oriki. Okay, so we have 8 minutes. I wanted to make sure that we had some time for Q&A. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. We have 8 minutes left. I want to make sure that I answer whatever questions you have about confidence, about mindset, about doing what you said you was going to do, about like whatever. Drop them in the chat so that I could answer them, because I'm all about, another thing I want y'all to write down, never ever leave a room, in person or virtual, without getting what you came here for. You guys are in this room. You want something. You want an answer. You want to fit, like, you did not spend an hour with me just because. Do not leave these 4 weeks without getting what you came for. All right, so go ahead. 7 minutes. Okay. Is this being recorded for a playback? I have to talk to my sponsors at SNIPES and get back to you. This is a live session. We want to make sure that you guys are engaged and you're coming through. I'll ask about a playback. That was a good question. Okay. When did you consider yourself an expert? Yorales, that is a great question. Woo, girl. We get into it. I got to sit back in my seat. I think I ordained myself as an expert when things could run on their own. If I can teach it to you, well, and I have receipts of success, like that's the thing. Right now, we're living in an age and time where everybody's an expert, right? Like everybody's selling a course. Everybody is the expert in a field and stuff like that. But make sure that you guys are asking for receipts. So I'm 10 years in my nonprofit, Latinas in Motion. Latinas in Motion, I could stop posting for a month and these women are still going to be in motion. To me, that's impact. To me, that's legendary. To me, I've created something that has outlived me. And so that's what makes me an expert in that field, right? Public speaking, I have no notes. I have no PowerPoint, because I've done this so many times. Free paid, unpaid, when I had one person in the audience, when I had 18,000 people in front of me at the Michelle Obama sold out Becoming tour. I can always show up as myself because it's who I am and it's what I do and it's what I continue to do. And so when I have the opportunity to stand in my greatness, I've been doing it so much for so long that I don't fold and I don't crumble and I don't dim my light because I know that I've been doing this thing. So, like, oftentimes as women, we're very humble and we're very careful to not say that we're good at something or that we're experts at something. But, baby girl, look at your receipts. Look at what you've created. Look at what you've done. And it's not so much about money, but what type of impact have you made? And I think, to me, that's what made me an expert. I hope that was helpful. Okay, let me go back. Is this recorded? So somebody asked that before. It's being recorded, but I'm not sure of distribution. I have to talk to my partners about that. Okay, thoughts about conquering self-doubt. Yeah, so Alba, self-doubt is what's holding you back from living your best life. Because here's the thing, doubt, fear, all these things are in our minds. And I'm not saying that they're not real. I'm talking about create a strategy that's going to combat all those feelings. So, like, when I feel like I'm not good, why do I feel like it's why I'm not good? So I'll give you guys an example. In September, my children went back to school full time after a year and a half of being virtual hybrid, right? When they were virtual and hybrid, I was getting up at 5 a.m. to go work out. This is an example. And I would feel great, right? So I would work out 5 times a week, hit the 6 a.m. class, feel amazing, cook dinner, do all this stuff. They were at home. Then September came and I was trying to keep that same pace that I had when the world was, kind of closed and when my kids were at home doing virtual. And so I became so stressed and I had so much negative self-talk because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not fit and I'm not disciplined and I'm lying to people because I'm telling people that you got to affirm this, blah, blah, blah. The truth of the matter is that I wasn't honoring the season that I was in. Right? Now I'm driving my kids to school. That's an hour and a half of my morning every morning. Then I'm picking them up. That's an hour and a half of my afternoon. I still have to write emails, create content, do all these things to run my business. And I was trying to run my life the same way it was when the pandemic had first hit and the world was closed. And I was stressed to the T, y'all. And you know what I realized? I sat with my therapy. Therapists are amazing. Therapy is dope. Like, I hired a therapist and she's like, why are you leading your life like that? Like, why don't you sit down, acknowledge the season that you're in so that you can give yourself grace and don't put so much pressure on yourself to operate in the same way you operated when the world was different. And so I want to tell you, whatever seeds are in your mind of self-doubt, they're there for a reason. Something has triggered that, right? You need to identify the trigger. Why do you feel like you're doubting yourself? Why are you doubting your greatness? Why are you doubting your decisions? Why are you doubting your next move? If you're doubting it, start affirming things over your life. Every day I wake up, I legit affirm, Elaine, you're going to shift the atmosphere of every room you walk into. Elaine, your tongue is going to speak powerful words into people. Like, these are the things that I affirm. Do it consistently and watch your life change. Oftentimes we know these things, but we don't do these things because we feel like, I don't want to say that out loud. Truth of the matter is, whatever you say out your mouth, your brain believes it as it is so. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I'm fat, oh, I'm tired, guess what? Your mind is believing that as it is so. So do not say that out loud. Only speak powerful things over your life. Only speak excellence over your life because you really are excellent. Anybody who told you that they're not, they're lying to you because they're so afraid of your greatness that it makes them feel small. Make them feel small anyways, boo. You're great. Okay, so it is 8:59. I love you guys so much. I'm going to honor your time because I said we're starting at 9, but I'm going to take these questions and I'm going to start with them during next Thursday session. I also have a treat for you guys. Every single Thursday, I'm going to have a mogul moment where I'm going to be bringing in some of my mogul friends to share some of their tips, tools, and strategies. So I'm so excited about that. If you want to help me win, if you want to see this program grow, what I need you to do is to tag me on social media. Make sure you tag me. Make sure you tag Snipes. Because there was a lot of doubt, right? It's just like, is this gonna work? Is this gonna be great? So if you want to pay it forward, if you want more of this free content, sponsored content, please tag me. Let me know what you thought. Did it change your night? Did it make you feel more confident? Are you eager to walk in your excellence? Are you excited about next week's session? These are all the things that's how I kind of measure how successful tonight was. So I will be so grateful if you guys did that. Make sure to tag me, Facebook and Instagram, tag Snipes. Again, shout out to Snipes for sponsoring this event. I love y'all. My prayer is that your heart is smiling. I really do hope your heart is smiling. And I will find out about the recording for you guys. All right. I love y'all. Go be great. Go be great.